Hello everyone, welcome to Stitches with Charlie Feathers. It's lovely to be back. I think it's been 5 weeks since I last recorded. I kept meaning to, but things kept popping up. I do try to keep to at least a 4-weekly schedule, but my girls have been suffering with chicken pox, so that's kept me quite busy. And I came here last weekend to these woods and I found a really beautiful clearing over there where we found a great spotted woodpecker nest, and I was hoping to be able to go back there today. However, there's a festival going on over there and I could hear it over there, so I thought let's pop over to the other side of the woods and we'll try and record over here, and hopefully we'll get some bird song and yeah, we'll get a nice recording over here. So welcome to all of you that are new subscribers. It's really lovely to have you here in my space. So my name is Charlie and I live in the United Kingdom in Cornwall in the southwest peninsula, and yeah, I'd like to say a massive thank you to Stitchy Sally because she gave me the most wonderful shout out on her Flosstube, and as a result I've had quite a few new subscribers and lots of lovely comments, and it's just been really lovely that she mentioned me. You're a huge inspiration to me, Sally, so thank you so much. And there were some other people that mentioned me, but I forgot my list I remembered on the way here. So I do know that Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, she mentioned me. Thank you, Sally. Fabrics by Crafty Kate. Both Sally and Kate are wonderful friends, and yeah, Kate showed my floss drops on her channel, so that was lovely. Rosie X Stitches, I know that you mentioned me, and I'm looking forward to meeting you at Stitch in London. And I'm sure there were some other people. Oh, Yasmin's Made with Love, and I'll talk about her a bit more later on. But yeah, I'm sure I've missed some others, but I'll try and remember my list for next time and I'll mention you then. Oh, it's nice to be out in nature. For someone like myself who identifies as a highly sensitive person and just generally find it quite difficult in the world that we live in. It's just so noisy and chaotic and lots of technology, and nature is my absolute solace. I'm so grateful that I have it, and it just helps me to feel centered. I just love being around all the trees and the birds. Just find it so peaceful. And I'm a mum of 2 girls, so I've got one daughter who is 6.5 and I've got another one who's 2.5, and I'm a full-time stay-at-home mum. But I have been slowly building up my little business, Charly Feathers, where I make handmade jelly printed floss drops, and I've just recently started to sell jelly printed ring bling as well. So thank you to those of you that supported my sale through Instagram, whether that was a like or a comment or a share, or you came over and supported me on my coffee shop. I think the sale was 2 weekends ago, so it was on the 20th of April, which was a Saturday, and so many of you came over and purchased things for me, and I was so incredibly grateful, so thank you so much. And I put up some bags a couple of days ago, some small notions pouches, and some of them sold already, but there is still some floss drops, some ring bling and some bags, and like little notions or small crochet small cross stitch bags, and they are available in my coffee shop, and I'll put the link down below if anyone would like to come and have a look. You'd be more than welcome. So yeah, lots of gratitude for so many of you that support me and just share stitching with me, and what a joyful thing it is to have in my life, and made so many friends through it. I'm just, yeah, It's wonderful. So because I've not recorded for quite a long time, I've got quite a lot of stuff to show you, but I'm hoping it won't take too long because I do need to get home. I've been out since lunchtime. I went to the sewing shop to get some like rickrack and lace and felt because I want to finish some pillows, and I bought my stuff with me in a bag. I forgot to mention that this is woods where lots of mountain bikers come. It's quite hilly, so they might go past like he just did. Not very often though, I don't see him that often in these woods. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, because I've not recorded so long, I have got quite a big bag of stuff, but I need to try and do it quickly because I've got to get home. I went to the sewing shop, that was my train of thought, and got some rickrack and lace and things, and then went for a walk here in the woods, and I did bring my bag of stuff. I feel like I'm repeating myself, sorry. That cyclist threw me off, and I thought if I felt like filming I would, and I do, so here we are. So a couple of FFOs to show you. The first one is Strawberry House. This pattern and the fancy floss was really kindly gifted to me by Amanda, the Alba Stitcher, so thank you Amanda. And I stitched this on 32 count Zweigart vintage cream, and it was an offcut like in the sale from Lakeside Needlecraft, and I just thought it suited the colours so beautifully. And I also used some DMC from my stash. And the frame is from the charity shop. I've had it in my stash for quite a while, and I painted it with just some off-white chalk paint, and the mount came with the frame. I think I paid £1 for this frame, and it's not hung up yet in my house because I need to put the hook and eye and the wire on the back so I can hang it on the wall. So it's just been sitting on my radiator in my front room, but I quite like it there actually next to my candles. It's fine there until the winter when we need to turn the radiators on. So yeah, sorry about the glare, can't be helped because it's behind glass, but yes, it's from Little House Needleworks. It's called Strawberry House, and I have gifted this pattern and the flosses onto someone else, but thank you once again Amanda. I've also got May. This is the freebie, the monthly freebie from Stitching Cabin, and she's just released June, and it's so cute. It's got like a flask on it and 2 little cups and some flowers. It's really sweet. I'm hoping to start that soon. But yeah, her monthly freebies are gorgeous, and I've just finished that in the usual way with some thin mount boards, some batting underneath, and then hot glued the edges and hot glued the magnet so it can go on my tin. And then the last one is a finish, but it's not fully finished. This is Orchard Cottage, and this is a little kit that I got free in the charity shop a few weeks ago. I was really lucky that I was able to go to Emma Louise Art Stitch, her little shop in St Austell in Cornwall. She does a stitch session every fortnight for 2 hours, and I wanted to go for ages, but it clashes with my daughter's art class, so I haven't been able to go. But she had a week off, and I asked hubby if I could go, and he said yeah, of course, go and enjoy yourself. And oh, it was so lovely, and I found that little kit in a little charity shop on the corner, and I also got another amazing kit which I'll show you my whips in a minute. And it was only £1 for the pattern and the little card and envelope, which I didn't use, and the flosses, which obviously I did use. And it did come with Ada, but I didn't want to stitch it on that. I wanted to stitch it on just some Zweigart 32 count even weave in antique white, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think it's really, really pretty. I love the back stitching on this one. I love back stitching on even weave. I hate it on Ada, but on even weave I really enjoy myself. And that will become a little pillow. Let's go with whip, shall we? So I did find the time to work on my the steady thread black work stitch along for 2023. this is it so far. Let's see if I can get it in the frame. There we go. And I worked on this hexie here. I think it was number 10. I think it's up to 22 or 23 now, so I am getting a bit behind on this, but at least I'm working away on it. And I'm using a mixture of 3 different greens and 3 different like pinky reds for this one. And I think it's turning out really beautiful. I'm really happy with it. And that is on 18 count Ada in vintage sand, I think it's called. Is that right? I think so. Or sand dune, something like that. I think it's vintage sand. The next one I've got in my lovely home bag that I made. I think I showed it in my last Flosstube. This is another stitch along. Honestly, this year is like the year of the stitch alongs. And I'm almost finished part 1 of the Historical Sampler Company with Emma Congdon. This is Home is Where the Heart Is, and do not be deceived by this pattern. It is so time intensive. There's lots and lots of backstitch in it, as you can see, and there's lots of gradients like in these leaves and in these letters. It is really time intensive. So this is almost the end of part 1. I've just got this little bit up here to finish, and I think there's a few doodads down here that I haven't done, but I do want to pick this up again soon. And I'm doing this on, again, 32 count antique white, but this is Joblan, I think that's how you say it, that I bought from Arts and Designs. I just think it's so pretty. I love the colours of this one. This is fully released now. It was a 4-part, and I will try and put a picture up of what it looks like when I edit, and that will become a frame when it's finished. Just put things away as I go, or I get in a real muddle and then get worried that I've left something in the woods. Okay. The next one we have is in a lovely project bag which was gifted to me by lovely Sarah, who is cross stitch Sarah with underscores in between each word on Instagram. Another lovely friend who I've met through Instagram and YouTube. She really kindly made this for my birthday, and this is a really special project because I'm stitching it along with Yasmin for her birthday. I think it was it her birthday? No, we did Miss Coffee for her birthday, which I haven't got today because I haven't worked on it. So there's Miss Coffee, which we started for Yasmin's birthday in October, and then we started Miss Scissors, which is this one, for my birthday in January. But I haven't got very far with this because I've got really distracted by other things. And I think, to be honest, I'm just spitting my dummy out because I don't want it to end, because this is my final kit that I have from Nitka. And obviously, because they're Russian, we can't buy from them at the moment. But I have got a personal determination by the time I finish this kit. So there's Miss Scissors, Miss Coffee, which I've started both of them. I'm quite a way through Miss Coffee, and then the last one is this one, Miss Tea, which I haven't even started yet. So my personal determination is by the time I've finished all 3 of these patterns in this kit, that I will be able to buy from Nitka Moscow again. That's my dream. And from Forest Embroidery, because I am absolutely desperate to have their rose hip kit, and I'll try and put a picture up again of that one, because the Forest kits are beautiful and I love their flosses. So I picked up a bit more of this on a video chat that I had with friends, and I think I worked a bit on this Stitch Across the Pond as well. So it's on the fabric that comes in the kit. I think it's just a flax 32 count, and Yasmin gifted this to me for my birthday, this sweet little hedgehog. And yeah, I did quite a lot of fill-in on this bobbin, and I started this bird up here, and this will become a pair of scissors. It's really beautiful. So yeah, it's good to work on that a bit more. I'm not quite sure how I know Yasmin's finished Miss Coffee, but I'm not quite sure how she's getting on with Miss Tea. I'm not sure if she showed it in her recent Flosstube. Okay, the next one is not in a fancy bag at all. This is the other kit that I got in the charity shop in St Austell, and I just couldn't believe this. I think it's stunning. So it's got no name on it, it's just called Cross Stitch Rose Red, and it was a full kit for £2, which is just unbelievable. It came with some extra flosses, and this must be the ones that are in the kit because they feel the same and they're the same colours. And it says Nanfeng Best Embroidery Thread, 8 meters, but they are 100% cotton, made in China. And I think it's because on the pattern they wanted you to stitch it on 14 count Ada with 3 strands, but I didn't want to do that. But I was really drawn to the colours. Sorry, they're getting a bit messy now I'm using them, but I think they're so pretty and vibrant. I mean, if you've been here for a while, you know that my favourite colours are pinks and purples, so this is right up my street, but I thought the greens were really nice as well. And I'm stitching this on a really lovely fabric. It's a 32 count linen, and I bought it from, where did I get this from? I think Lakeside, and it's a grey with white spots on it. Sorry, it's a bit loose in the hoop now. Oh, there's a fly on my hand. And this is how far I've got with it. This was just a couple of days last weekend, like on and off stitching on this. And I really love how it looks. I think it looks really striking and it really pops on that fabric. And I'm looking forward to seeing this grow. I'm going through a stage at the moment where all I want to stitch is florals, particularly vintage florals, and I have stitched another piece, but it's a secret stitch for a present, so I can't show that to you at the moment, but I might be able to in the next Flosstube. But I'm completely obsessed. I found this website called Roland Designs. It's this lady who finds all these antique floral paintings, and she makes them into cross stitch patterns. I'll try and remember to link that in the down bar below as well, because the patterns are gorgeous if you like vintage florals, and they're really affordable. I think I'm going to stitch a few from there. So yeah, that's another lovely, lovely new start. Ooh. For £2, that couldn't be left, could it? This is in my Welcome to the Forest bag. And this is another gorgeous, gorgeous project. So I'm stitching the Country Cottage Needleworks Welcome to the Forest series, and at the moment I'm on this one, which I think is just called Blue Forest Cottage, which is a bit boring, but let's take that out so you can see it a bit better without the plastic glare. There we go. I could hear the festival, I don't know if you can, but it's not as loud over this side. And I'm doing quite well with this. It's quite a large piece of fabric to work on. I think last time I showed this I was on the deer. Well, I've finished that now, and I've moved down to the forest. Sorry, I've only turned the frame this way. Didn't bring a bit of mount board or anything out for me today to show things on, so the frame will have to do. But yeah, this is where I've got up to. And as you might tell, I've changed that little yellow bird here to a black bird, because we don't get yellow birds like that in the UK. I think Country Cottage Needleworks, if I'm not wrong, are American. So yeah, I just fancied putting a black bird. I think he looks really cute. But that's the only thing I've changed so far. All of the colours are as called for, and I just think it's looking really lovely on this natural linen, natural raw linen, 32 count again. I stitch most things on 32 count because that is my favourite fabric. I don't mind linen or even weave, but I stitch on both really. Maybe I like even weave a bit more because I find it a bit softer in my hands, but I like both really. I've just realised some of my embroidery floss is trapped in the zip. Oh dear. I'll sort that out later. Okay, the next one is Love Makes Everything Easy by Yasmin Made with Love again. And I picked this up after not working on it for a long time, and I'm using the lovely little notions pouch, which again Sarah made for me and gifted to me recently. And I hadn't worked on this for absolutely ages. Yeah, so Yasmin, she gifted this to me for my birthday, if I didn't already say that. Sorry, I'm really forgetful today. I stayed up too late stitching. And I stayed up till like 1:30 stitching last night, and as a result I'm a bit tired today. My brain's not working at full capacity, plus it's like 5 o'clock in the evening now. And I've got another little needle minder that Yasmin gave me for my birthday, a little fox. And yeah, I'm working my way through this. I think I'm nearly done with the bird now. I've got some more filling to do here and on his tail, and some more of these circular bits that go round. And then obviously I've got some filling to do on this bit as well, but he's rather large, but isn't he stunning? I am using some slightly different colours from Yas because I don't think I had them in my stash. She gave me the first edition of this pattern before she'd released it, so I think some of the colours were maybe a bit different, or I didn't have them in my stash. But this again is on the 32 count flax by Zweigart, and I'm looking forward to finishing him and getting onto the border because the border's stunning. I'll put a picture in so you can see if you don't know this pattern. So yeah, some good progress on that one as well. Oh, I love this. Look at this. If you've not been here before, I love seahorses. They're my thing. I found this toiletry bag. It's a really lovely Ted Baker one in the charity shop, and it was £2.50. I thought I cannot leave that there. One, because I'll use it when I go to stitch in London, but two, I can use it as a project bag when I'm not away because it's too pretty not to, and it's got a really lovely little seahorse ring pull as well. This is another stitch along, and this is by Magnolia Nest Designs on Etsy, and the lady's called the Travelling Stitcher on Instagram, and she released this recently. Myself, Kate from Fabrics by Crafty Kate, sorry I'm struggling to get my words out today, and Kim, Stitchy Squirrels, we decided to stitch it along together. There is another lady joining us as well, and this is what it looks like so far. It's called At One with the Sun, and we're using hashtag At One with the Sun SAL. And I'm stitching this on Kate's lovely fabric of the month from when was this one from? Have I got the tag in here? It's called Beautiful, yeah, from March, and I get the even weave 32 count. You can now order this fabric from her website. And yeah, I'm just working my way through this. It's quite a quick stitch, and I'm just so drawn to it because of that little fairy house. I think it's gorgeous, and I love echinaceas. I've been drawing echinaceas a lot on my floss drops at the moment. That little bee is so cute. Yeah, I love it. It's so delicately pretty. It's lovely. Lovely colours. I didn't have some of those in my stashy, some of the DMC that was called for in my stash, so I've substituted some of them. Okay, the next one needs a new bag because it doesn't quite fit in here. But this is my Pretty Things bag that was a cotton and twine subscription box. I've showed it many times before. And this is another new start. I started this last weekend, as well as that roses kit that I showed you on the spotty fabric. Oh, flosses everywhere. Put them back in the bag. And this again is by Yasmins Made with Love. You can hear a lot about Yasmin because she's a treasured friend, and she was like one of the first friends that I made in cross stitch online, because we're both Barbara Anna fanatics. And Yas started designing the end of last year, and she's just become such a prolific, amazing, unique designer, and I love everything that she designs really. And I'm stitching this on, what am I stitching this on? Oh, I know, a 36 count, which is a bit unusual for me. A 36 count, I think it's foxglove and lace. I bought it from Sarah in the D stash, and I think it's called, what's it called? I don't think I've got the tag in here. Latte, that's what it's called. And this is it so far. So I'm stitching this 1/2, and it's called Strawberry Season. Yas last month started a Patreon. It's got 3 different tiers, and I joined tier 1 because I just wanted to get the seasonal smalls, and it's so gorgeous. So in her pattern she uses fancy floss, but I substituted it with DMC, and I'm using what am I using for the white? I think I'm just using Blanc actually. I did try whitewash by Weeks Dye Works, but it wasn't showing up very well. And yeah, I just think it's so pretty and delicate. I really love it. I made really good progress on both those projects last weekend. I spent a lot of time sat on the sofa or in the garden stitching. It was bliss, because the weather in the UK has just changed and it's just glorious. Is that all of them? Yep, that's all my whips. That's quite a lot though. That's quite a lot I've been working on. I've got some haul. So A to V Brands contacted me again and asked if I'd be interested in receiving some Peter Rabbit kits. And I've seen the kits that a lot of people have been sharing on Instagram, and I thought I really like the kits they've been sharing, so I'll say yes. Because I really like the Mr. Men kits they sent me. I haven't finished both of them, but I'm getting there with it. Oh, this one's actually open. I think it's because I wanted to look at the pink fabric that was sent with it, the pink Ada. Oh god, it's tearing. I'll just leave that. Hold it like that. And so they sent me this one, which is really pretty, and I'll show you the reason I opened it, because it came with this really lovely pink Ada. I think it's so sweet. It's like a blush pink, but I don't want to do all that back stitch on Ada, so I'll do it on a, I've got a vintage pink even weave which I think would look really nice on, so it's a lot of back stitch. I'd rather do it on even weave, so I will do that. I think it's lovely. And then this one is a birth sampler. So lovely, and I do like this again, but again I do it on an antique white 32 count, and I don't want the text on there. I might just do the little animals and leave the text off. Like I could do that as one pillow, couldn't I? And that's a pillow and that, and have them as a little display together. So thank you to A to V Brands for sending me those, and it was beautifully packaged in some fabric as usual, and it came really quickly after they contacted me. I've been a bit naughty this month because I did buy the PIP and Chip bobbins. I've been lusting after them for well over a year, but they're quite an investment. But I've been working really super hard on my floss drop sales, and I've been doing some decluttering in my house, so I thought I'd treat myself to those. So I did buy those as well as this stash, so I've been a bit naughty this month, but I've wanted this since I saw it at release at Nashville as well. And this is the Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, the Stitcher's Retreat House. Isn't that glorious? I'm sure many of you have seen this. So I bought the DMC that I was missing, and I bought this from Arts and Designs. It was out of stock, but it was really cheap. It was £7.71 with 3 postage. It was the cheapest place I've seen it. So as soon as I got the notification that it was back in stock, I bought it. And there was only 2 copies left, so I think quite a lot of people had been watching it. Oh, I thought that it stopped recording, then it hasn't. So yeah. And I bought from Flosstube the 36 count Edinburgh linen in vintage country mocha. Stitch that on. If you don't know about Flosstube, they are a fantastic company. They haven't got a massive range, but they have got all the basics. So this is a 14 by 14 inch piece, and it was £8.50 including delivery. So they're worth a look out. They're on eBay as well. So I'm all ready to go with that. That's going to be a stitch along with Emily, M Stitch Makes. Again, I'll put her in the down bar. And Stitchy Sally. I think we're going to start it in July. I think Emily's already started, but me and Sally are going to have a start date together. And our plan is to get it more or less finished by Stitch in London, so we can take it there and we can all stitch our initials or our names on the bottom. I think that's a really nice idea. I was really kind enough to receive this in the post. I'd been wanting this for ages, and I put a shout out on the Cotton and Twine Facebook group if anyone had it, could I buy it from them? And a really kind lady contacted me and said that she didn't need it anymore and she would send it to me. So that was lovely. It's the February 2021 and it's called Hope. And I have ordered the flosses for this. I would like to start it soon. And I'll probably do that on like a flax, I think. Or a nice creamy Ada. In the charity shop I found this magazine, Cross Stitch Gold. They charged me 10p for this, and it's from 2001, February, March, issue 2. Wow, it's quite an early edition. And I saw this in it, and I thought it was so sweet. I love this. I mean, it's supposed to be a whole big sampler, but they'd make really sweet little pillows, some of these, but I particularly like this. I think it's really lovely. So I'm going to stitch that up at some point. For 10p, I couldn't leave that there. And then I won't show this too close because it's from a magazine, Cross Stitcher, but it's Durain Jones, and I thought this was lovely. It says, "Too many Mondays, not enough coffee," and someone stuck the details on the back. So they charged me 20p for that. I thought, I'm not leaving that there. I love Durain Jones. As part of my vintage floral obsession, I found this on eBay. It's called Roses for Emily. Oh god, this is stunning. This is from 1993 and I found it on eBay and had to buy it. I think it was £7.99 including postage. And you can stitch this as petite point with silk flosses, but I'm going to stitch it on I think I did decide. What did I decide? Because all the DMC are listed. Uh, 32 count antique white Belfast linen, that one's stitched on. So I think it's these little boxes down here that were done in the petite point. Oh, I really want to start that. I'm up to 19 whips, which is loads for me. I can't go over 20 because I haven't got enough project bags. Unless I make some new project bags. I have just received some fabric in the post. I don't know if you follow Elmhurst Fabrics, but they have an amazing sale. I think it might have ended now, sorry. But they had lots of fabric quite reasonably priced because I think they're going on holiday for 2 weeks. They need to make room for some new stock that they're going to be bringing back. So I could make some new project bags, but I really don't want to go over 20 whips because I get overwhelmed. It's too many. But I will start that at some point. And this actually is what enabled me to find that website that I was talking about earlier, Roland Designs, because I typed this into Google and this really beautiful pattern came up that it came up with a blog post by Roland Designs with the word Emily in it. Is that how you say it? Or Amelie? I think it's Emily. Amelie. So yeah, I'm just down a rabbit hole. I mean, I've got another stitch along starting with the ladies that I stitched Blooming Lovely with, and we're going to be doing a really lovely pattern that I found in Cross Stitch Crazy, and again I'll put a picture in and I'll try and remember so you can see. But if any of you want to join that, then just let me know. I think we're starting that on the summer solstice. God, I really can't talk. On the summer solstice, which is, I think it's either the 20th or the 22nd of June. Okay, when I went to Emma's shop, I bought this really beautiful kit, and I got the even weave version. Look at those colours. Because I stitched her seahorse pattern and I absolutely loved it, but this will be my first full coverage to see if I like full coverage. And this has got quite a lot of backstitch in it, but it's Moonlight Meadow, and I've lusted after this on her website for ages, so when I saw it in the shop I thought I've got to have that. And she released yesterday the most gorgeous agapanthus, I think it's called Agapanthus Sunset. Again, I'll try and include a picture, but it's absolutely stunning. I really want that, so next time I go to her stitch session I think I'm going to treat myself to that. That's all my haul to show you. I did buy some more fabrics, but I didn't bring them with me, and I didn't bring my PIP and Chip bobbins because they're just too heavy, and you all know what they look like. And I'm waiting for the box to come. I've ordered a box the same as Marie Stitches from Stitches and Diamonds, because I love the way she has her PIP and Chip bobbins. Oh, there's someone coming. Hang on a sec, I'm going to stop, and when they've gone I'll press record again. Right, we're back. The dog walkers have gone past. What was I saying? I don't know, it's completely gone. I don't know. Right, Stitchy Kindness. Lovely Sarah sent me this. Spring Awakens by Summer House Stitchworks. I love this collection. And she was so kind to send it to me. I want to start this soon as well. And these are absolutely gorgeous. These are some watercoloured floss drops that my lovely friend Kim, who is Stitchy Squirrels on Instagram, made for me. And she sent me some lovely floss as well that I was missing from my stash that she had duplicates of. So I'll just show them to you. Oh, I love this one. Echinaceas. I think me and Kim are both loving echinaceas at the moment because of that one with the sunsail. This one's pretty. There we go. So she gave me a set of 12 and they're so lovely. I'm trying to encourage Kim to sell these, so go over and encourage her if you'd like to. No pressure though, Kim, obviously. I don't know if you've got the time to do that or if you want to, but I just think they're so beautiful and she should share them with the world. She's got a real skill with watercolour and ink, and I just think they're lovely. So yeah, that's everything I've got to share with you. I guess the last thing I just wanted to share with you was some really exciting news. So Yasmin, my lovely friend, she contacted me, I think it was 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and asked me if I would be interested in being her model stitcher. And I was just completely blown away and couldn't believe that she'd asked me. And of course I said yes. She's given me 3 patterns to stitch and they're all wonderful. They're so beautiful. She sent me the most glorious fabrics, the most glorious flosses, and I'm just so excited. I'm about halfway through, nearly halfway through the first one, and I'll be able to share more about that soon. But I've been stitching away on that as well, and it's been bringing me a lot of joy. And oh, I just can't tell you how wonderful it is to work with a friend. And yeah, it's lovely to be able to support her to design more and yeah, I get a sneak peek of everything first, which is really nice. So thank you to Yas for asking me, and oh, it's just a lovely thing to be able to do, so it's brilliant. So that's been taking up a bit more of my time. I've still got a few commissions to do for floss drops, and there's some other things going on in the pipeline for Charly feathers, so that's keeping me busy. And I'm having to be quite you know, making sure that I'm pacing myself well with my small business, but also with my model stitching and my personal stitching, and being a mum and a housewife, and being, yeah, just being a wife in general, keeping everything ticking over at home. So it's a bit of a fine balance, but it's good for me. It's good that I'm growing and stretching myself. I'm one of them people that doesn't like to stagnate, you know. I don't like to be in the same place, and I like to feel a bit of growing pain and a bit of resistance. I'm not adverse to that. I mean, it just makes me feel a bit anxious sometimes, but I know that it's good for me, and it's good that I'm progressing and things are moving forward. So I'm just grateful. I feel like my heart is just so full of gratitude at the moment for this stitching community, for my lovely friendships, for lovely opportunities that just keep coming my way, and thank you, universe, for allowing all this wonderfulness into my life. And I love to share it all with you. Oh, I don't want to get all teary, but that's everything I wanted to share today, and I just hope you've enjoyed this video and sharing this little bit of time with me, and hopefully I'll be back again next month and I can share my first model stitch with you for Yasmin and all the other lovely projects that I've been working on, and hopefully I'll have been back to Emma's shop as well and I can show you that new kit and tell you more about that. It was a lovely stitchy group. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've made some friends on Instagram as a result of it now that live in Cornwall, and I haven't met one of them yet, Claire, but I'm sure we'll meet up for a coffee soon and do some stitching, because a lot of my cross stitch friends, you know, are all virtual, although I talk to them like a lot. Like him I talk to every day. I talk to Yasmin quite a lot, and Sally, Flossie Sews and Grows, we chat quite a bit, but it'd be nice to have a friend that I could meet up with in person and, you know, chat all stitching with, because my husband, he tries to understand, but you know, it's not his thing. Warhammer is his thing. And oh, talking about that, so our Chris's mum and dad, it was our wedding anniversary last weekend, and they sent us some money for our anniversary, which was really kind of them. But we bought like a nice camera that we can use, and that films in 4K actually. And I was going to film the Flosstube today, but I wasn't organised enough to film it with that camera. I need to get him to show me how to use it. And we also bought one of those overhead attachments, which means that I am going to be able to do stitch with me's, which will be really nice. And yeah, you'll be able to see me stitching and showing you my setup. So I'm planning to do that soon, so if that's something you're interested in, then let me know, and I'll keep you updated. But keep a lookout on Instagram, because I'll probably tell you on there, or make sure you've got the YouTube notifications on, and then you'll see if one pops up. I'm not planning to do them live yet because I haven't got the confidence. I'm going to just film them and talk and then upload them, and let's just see how that goes. And if I get my confidence up, then maybe we'll do a live. That would be really cool. I'm just worried that I'll do a live and no one will turn up or I just won't know what to say and I'll get all anxious. So yeah, hope all is well with you. I hope it's sunny where you are, and if you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope the weather, you know, is not too cold and bitter, and that you're still able to get out in nature a little bit. And yeah, take care, enjoy your stitching, bye.